Alright, what is up YouTube? Joseph Seeger hitting back with another Frightfur deck profile. I have made some changes to the deck as I saw a lot of flaws with the last profile I made. There is more spell cards now and a lot of new extra deck support. But other than that, let's go through deck profile. Starting it off with the 3 Fluffle Dogs. Hang on a sec. Starting it off with 3 Fluffle Dogs. Obviously, we know what these do. It searches out Edgem Sabers or a Fluffle, and it's 1700 attack points. And it's a level 4, good to go into your rank plays. Next, we have 3 Fluffle Owl. I bumped this up to 3 as I removed from play my Owls a lot with Frightfur Fusion to go into my Tigers and overkill everything. And that's why I needed to bump Sabers up to 2, but I saw as I wasn't getting my Fusion plays off enough, so we bumped this up to 3. So, yeah. I gotta get my Fusion plays off somehow. Next, we run 2 Sheep. I don't know if I was running it at 3. I know I was running it at 3 one point in between these 2 videos. I have it at 2 now as I can see more consistency, and obviously if I go for Tiger, I might as well just be going for Game and then going for Wolf. But I have to make sure this combination is set up for Wolf and Tiger. If I said Wolf, I am so sorry. Here's my one-ofs. We have 1 Cat, 1 Fluffle Bear, and 1 Fluffle Rabbit. Fluffle Rabbit I see as a good get back for Edgem Sabers or Fluffle that I need. And yes, I will be using Owl's effect to send this to the graveyard and get its effect off. Cat will be sent to the graveyard for the fusion material just to get my polymerization back / fusion substitute. And Fluffle Bear is pretty much just going to go into my Toy Vendor, because I need my plays going off with Toy Vendor. That's it for the Fluffles. Moving on to Edgemps. We have 2 Edgemp Sabers. I got the second one. Now I see much more consistency with the 2. If this thing would focus. I have much more consistency with the 2, as I would always be removing from play the Edgemp Sabers that I already had, and I wouldn't see Tiger anymore, so I had to bump this up to 2, as now I see more consistency. Next we have 2 Chains. I took this down from 3 to 2. I don't know if I had it at 2 before, but it's at 2 now because I'm rarely going to use the attacking effect. I'm mostly using it to get out my Frightfur Fusion and going into my big plays. So yes. We have the 1 Edgemp Saw. I don't know if I had it at 1. I don't pay attention to anything, but it's at 1 because when am I ever going to go into his effect? He has to be normal summoned to discard a Fluffle from my hand and then draw 2 cards, then place 1 on the top or bottom. Mainly if I'm going to put a card back into the deck, it's mainly going to be at the bottom unless I could draw it again, or use it to draw a Fluffle, place it back on, go into Toy Vendor, discard a card, and then special summon it, and you just go off from there. But that's pretty much the only combination there is, and I don't pull it off that often. Then we have the Edgem Tomahawk to dump these Edgems into the grave. He'll take its name, and yeah. Fun. I really don't like Tomahawk. Next, we put in the new monster, 2 Summoner Monks, because I saw a lot of great plays with this. The combination of sending Toy Vendor to the graveyard, and then just special summoning Dog, and then just going for 2 searches automatically led myself to game instantly. And plus, I could easily go into a rank 4 play right then and there if I can't go into a fusion play, which is pretty good. Moving on to spells, we run 2 fusion substitutes now. I bumped this down from 3 to 2 because I needed to see more spell support, and I'll get into more of the spell support later. But this card is good because if my Tiger gets destroyed, I need him back because I only have the 1, and I'm going to bump him up to 2 in the November format because I have another deck build assembled for this. But it brings my Tiger back into my extra deck, and then I get to draw a card right after that, which is pretty good, and I like the draw power because next card, you never know. Next, we have 2 Frightfur fusions. What else do I have to say about this? Great OTK card. 1 Frightfur factory. Now, I'm running this at 1 because you can only use its effect once per turn. And if I'm going into Tiger, I'm mainly going to pop this card to go back to Frightfur Fusion and then just start banishing from the field and graveyard to go for Wolf and complete the OTK right then and there. All essence, pretty good. I like it. Next, for the biggest change in the deck, we run 3 Toy Vendor to get off all of our plays. It's got a lot of discard effects. I can discard itself in order to activate its effect, whatnot. I like it. And it doesn't have the likely cost. It's whenever it's sent to the graveyard, so it can be sent from hand, field, or deck to the grave, and you get its effect off. Next, another big change in this deck. 2 Mask Change 2s. Now, I run this at 2 because obviously I can get into the Toy Vendor effect play, summon a Saw, discard a Fluffle, draw 2, then drop 1, and then just be like, okay, drop a Toy Vendor, go through all those plays and everything. Plus, it gets out my new favor in the deck, Dark Law, because I deal with Infernoids and stuff that revolves around the graveyard and banishing. I just need to get rid of all those. Next, we have 2 Parallel Twisters. Now, this is a bigger change from when I had MST in the deck. I can send 1 spell or trap card I control to the grave and destroy 1 card on the field. Now, it doesn't have to be spell or trap card specific. It's just destroy 1 card. Now, I send this guy to the grave, and I get all my Fluffle plays out like that, plus getting rid of a card that could be a potential threat, which is pretty good. So I run that by 2 now. Then we have the 1 Regeki. We all know what it does. I don't have to go into explanation. Destroys all monsters on your opponent's side of the field. This is another big change because I see a lot of good plays with this. Storm. Now, most people I see run it, most people I see don't run it because it's a technical type of heavy storm. Destroy all spell and trap cards you control as possible, and then destroy as many as possible on your opponent's side of the field up to the number of spell and trap cards you destroyed. Now, I see plays where I had 2 Toy Vendors, a face-down card that I was never using, and a Frightfur Factory. And I used that to destroy my opponent's entire back row. It's the best card in this deck for spells. In my mind. I saw great potential with it. It is fun to use. Moving on to traps, we have 2 Fusion Reserves, because who doesn't like to add from their deck, and who doesn't like getting their poly back from the grave? My fun card, which will also be in my November build. Next, we have the 2 Mirror Force. People don't expect it these days. They just run right into it. Yosenju's play it a lot. I really hate Yosenju's. Next, we have the 1 Trap Stun, because what else is there to say? Just activate it on the draw phase of your turn. Okay. He can't do anything about specials. can't do anything about Vanity's emptiness or anything. So I'll just go into Tiger and Wolf and blow up his whole field right then and there. And for the last 2 cards, we have Bottomless and Solemn because there's potential threats and I'd like to get rid of them as soon as possible. That's it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. We have 3 Sheeps. I'm gonna bump this down to 2 in November. But it's still staying the same because it's the best card and it's got me out of a lot of fucking crap. Yes, I said the F word. Wow. But yes, this has got me a lot out of a lot of bullcrap that I've seen on the field. A lot of bullcrap. But the only thing it's sucks against is Compulsory, Bottomless, and Dark Law. Next, we have the 1 Tiger. Enough said. Game winner right there. Now, Tiger's effect, whoever's watched this video, whoever doesn't know what this effect does, whenever it's fusion summoned, target as many cards on the field as possible, up to the number of fusion materials you use to fusion summon the Frightfur Tiger, and destroy them all, and all your Frightfurs like this, your Wolf, your Bear, your Chimera, your Leo, they all gain a nice power boost. 300 attack for each Frightfur and Fluffle monster you control. All Frightfurs gain 300 attack each. Maximum point gain is 1500, but I never pull that many out because I'm always going for win. Next, we have the 2 Wolves. Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense to have 1 Tiger and 2 Wolves, but we'll be getting 2 Tigers for the deck. But Wolf, like I said, Tiger and Wolf OTK, you blow up as many cards on your opponent's side of the field, then you go for Frightfur Fusion, you get this guy out, and then you just attack 4 times per game. Pretty much enough said. I love that card. And like we said, test subject, it has saved my ass on numerous occasions, Frightfur Bear. Now, people have tried to negate his ability with, because I've faced a lot of Koa Kamirus that like to negate monster effects. Well, judging on how I destroy that monster by battle and then it gets equipped, he can't do that, which is really fun for me. Plus, I've taken a lot of Infernoids with this. It's pretty sad. This 2200 attack point bear took an Infernoid hostage. Next, we bumped this down from 3 to 1 because I did not like it. And I never saw play. And it targets. And I hate it when it faces Leo, Keeper of the Sacred Tree. Frightfur Leo. I dropped it from 3 to 1 because there's not that many saws in the deck now. There's only 1. And I'm rarely going to see it because it's 1 out of 40 cards in the deck. But I still like its effect where you can pop a card on his side, on your opponent's side of the field, and deal damage to him. And if he has a face-down monster, pop that as well. There you go. Next, we have the 1 Frightfur Chimera. Yes, I've actually pulled this out for shits and giggles and ended an opponent's game with it because, you know, you want to make him sad, and you want to take his monster. It's an Armades and a Goyo in its own form, and whenever you have monsters that your opponent owns and you currently control, he gains 300 attack for each one that you own. Maximum point gain is 1200, but I'm not going to do that. Of course, you want to say you want to go into your synchro plays. Well, you don't side deck any synchros, you side deck good cards like Fluffle Mouse and everything. Next, we have the 2 Dark Laws, which is the newest addition into the Fusion Extra deck. Pretty much self-explanatory with Max Change 2. Beast of a card. Next, for Xyz, we did change this a lot. We have Dark Rebellion from the Newton. I don't even know if you guys can see that. I got a Dark Rebellion now, yay! We got a Castel, because we like to switch battle positions on your monster, and we like to send them back into the deck. Honor Arc, because we like to take your monster and use it as our own material. And Carnagon, because a lot of effects target, and I do not like it. Dark Rebellion was a new input to Heartland Draco because I just have a monster and it's mainly going to gain over 500 attack points to 1,000 attack points, depending on what the monster is. If it's Cleaforts, you obviously know you're going to do good and just gain a lot of attack points on it. That's basic story with that. Castel took over Excitation Knight because if I'm going to go for a Leo effect, I might as well go into a Leo Castel combo and change the battle position. Oh. I might as well just shuffle it back into the deck. Jeez. If you're just going to switch it and face down defense. I guess I don't read cards. I don't. Honor Arc, basic story, we already know what it does. Detach 2, take a special summon attack position monster, put it as a material as our own. Carnagon, detach a material, then whenever something targets exactly one card in the field. Yes. Negate it and put it on an appropriate target. Anyways, that is the deck profile. Just gonna show the flaws. That is the deck profile, my newest one. Please comment below if you have any tips, and get back to me. Joseph Seeger signing out.